Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're here for the 2023 Memorial Championship final round action. This is the back nine. We're starting to close it out. This woman, Ohn Scoggins, out with a sizable lead. Trying to hunt her down includes Natalie Ryan, along with Jennifer Allen, who made a charge during round 3, and Anniken Steen, coming to us all the way from Norway. She's on her first leg of her 2023 tour. Vista del Camino course, just as we saw in round number 3, and trying to close things out. We head over to hole number 10, which is a par 5 for the women, Jamie.
Yeah, it is. So this one's kind of fun. Now that it's a par 5, I feel like it makes it reachable for us. Even gives us a possibility for a birdie. So you do have a Mando right off the tee. It's right at that Mando, but you want to get as much distance as possible. If you've got a forehand and just going to crush it out there, that's great. Otherwise, you're looking at that hillside, low-hanging branches and trees, plus a Mando. So your goal is truly just to get down there and be safe. And I think that's not what we just saw happen.
No, she went with the lefty drive again, and this time sawed it off way early and then got a terrible kick out over the sidewalk to the right side. So that's going to be an early out of bounds.
And that one there looks great. There are some little tiny trees out there in the fairway. So again, at the end when you finish, you don't want to be behind those if you can avoid them. But I think she'll be fine.
And Jen with a long drifting turnover.
That's a beautiful shot. If she skid down the hill, it's even better. If she's on the hillside, I think at that point it's a little bit less sloped, but the walk-up can be compromised by that slope as well. And that's going to be a great shot.
No surprise. Ohn in the fairway.
Perfect.
And now Natalie going with a forehand. That's going to work out just fine.
Yes,
That's
it
going to
is.
flex right back out into the center of the fairway. So as good of a recovery shot as she could have asked for there.
Was that out of bounds?
She was out of bounds off the tee. So, yeah, that would have been her third. Now Ohn throwing her second.
Oh.
She's perplexed.
I think so. I thought it was going to be me at first.
Yeah, there's a lot of flex on that. It just didn't have a chance to come back.
So you called it. There's a couple of these scattered trees that can come into play if you push too far. But it looks like she's got a nice turn on this. Oh, and that's going to flex out. She'd love to catch an edge at the end and maybe get a flare, but still a really nice second shot. Jen standstill. Pulled up and to the right, and she's calling it.
Damn it.
Yeah, she called knowing it was going to go, or ultimately does go out of bounds. So Jen not taking advantage of the great drive.
With that height, it gets a little sketchy down there because there's like secret wind patches, especially closer down to the street. And I think it's because there is a street there. It allows that wind tunnel. So she might have just been high enough to just catch some of that. And it's a little bit dangerous when you do that.
That's Natalie's fourth.
That's going to look good. Yeah, it's nice. That just looked easy. She's just like,
No big deal.
no big deal. I do this every day.
An eagle bid going to come up short, but what a easy tap-in birdie that Anniken's going to find.
Yeah, this is going to be a little tough. So she's got those low hanging branches from that pine tree. And on it, I mean, you got all those boulders and everything. I mean, obviously it's not going to be a comfortable situation.
Oh, Jen, you got to throw it. Jesus Christ. That's why you don't throw it.
Not happy about that.
No.
That's tough. I'm sure she had a tiny little gap too. I mean, it just is all about touch, lacing it through there. So that was just a tough shot in general.
So Natalie's bid at par is off the mark. She'll have a comebacker for the bogey. Jen contemplating her options.
Now, is that tree over her head? I can't tell if the branches are in front of her.
I think she is
they
just past
are.
those, but even with the OB that she took, she's going to walk away with a par 5 here. So solid putt for Jen.
Yeah.
A little frustrated with her second to last shot there, but she makes up for it with the putt. And this battle, you know, that I think we speak of, seeing in second place right now, 8 under for Natalie, who likely is going to give back at least a stroke here. Jennifer at 8. Anniken at 7. Really feels like it's a battle for second and third. Natalie collects her thoughts for a moment, resets, and converts on the bogey putt. Now, Ohn, almost like she's surgical, just pinpointing her way all the way down. Tap in birdie, no big deal.
They'll have a little bit of a walk to remind themselves of what they just did and what they're about to do.
That's one of the challenges is knowing that you have such a long walk over to here and hole 11 where we start finally coming back toward the starting point way out here, but a par 4 at 543 feet.
Is it? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you have OB high, you have OB low. So there's really just got a tight little fairway. You also have mando trees on your left hand side, so you got to stay right of those. So the biggest thing you're trying to do here is get distance with a little bit of a skip, but you don't want too much skip where you're going to go either left or right too much. Because the second shot, you just want to put it under the basket, really.
And that's a great opening shot there for Anniken.
Yeah, that's going to work too. Hit hard. And she does. That could have been very dangerous. If she would have thrown it a smidge flatter and it landed flatter, she would have gotten a massive skip left.
Finding that OB sidewalk. So she's safe. We'll see what Natalie can do. And Natalie throws this one straight into the ground. Very short. Thankfully, for her, it stays in the center of the fairway, but definitely not taking advantage of her distance.
Oh. I will say, too, the footing around there, that's probably the one fairway that has the worst ground footing because there's a bunch of, I don't know.
Ant hills and gopher holes.
Gopher holes.
Things of that nature. I don't know. You see any groundhogs out there?
No ground. No, definitely the little gophers. But yeah, your footing is just all over the place. So you're just trying not to break an ankle. And at the same time, you're trying to crush a 300-foot drive at the same time.
So we've seen two very low shots here from Natalie. Here's another forehand. And that one gets some ground play in the right direction.
That's going to be a putt.
This is a par 4. All right.
What just happened?
I'm not sure. I think she momentarily was thinking about changing it up and then talked herself out of it. And I don't know. She's got a background in figure skating, so I feel like she pulled that off. I don't know if that was a triple sow cow axle twist thing. No? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here like usual.
She executed it very well. So the decision she stuck with after her 360 was great.
We'll go with that. Give it a 10 out of 10. All right, here's the putt and in for birdie. So nice work.
They've got it surrounded.
This is the same? I can go. Okay.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
So Natalie will be the only one here on the lead card to not birdie yet. There were ultimately 5 birdies on the day. 3 of them right here on our lead card as Jen will tap in.
That's pretty darn good.
Jamie, we're back to the action. Quick Quit going out to teamdiscraft.com and picking up some Frisbees for all your friends here. Simmer down. We've got Anniken on the tee of 12.
Oh, a little low, man. You have to get over that gunite. And there is a bit, I would say, 3 or 4 feet of gunite that continues until you hit the grass line. And that is all OB. So you have to be on the grass for this to be good. Otherwise, if you do, you're supposed to re-tee from the tee pad at that point in time. You can do a safe route to the right and then pitch it up and try to walk away through 3. Or you can just do what Ohn just did and just put it under the basket. So there's that option too.
Yeah, well, yesterday she came up short by a couple feet and then threw, I feel like, that yellow disc almost perfectly. So today she led with the yellow one and finds herself up on top, and Jen's going to do the same. That's going to be deep of the pin as well.
With that height, I was a little concerned. I didn't feel or see any wind at that point in time, so that could have faded a little bit harder left, and you would have found yourself in another OB spot. We did have a little bit of left to right wind. That is so helpful if you're trying to do a little flip over with something stable and come back to the basket. With that left-handed throw, it looked like it worked as well. Maybe a little bit more of a fade to the right than liked, but it's going to be a look at a putt.
Yeah, just kind of riding the wind. And now the players have the option to throw again from the tee where they just threw from, or they can move up the few feet to any other position, really, between them and the basket at that point.
And faded pretty far right.
Yeah, that's way out there. That's the extra safe play, which is easy to do knowing you don't want to tin cup this and be standing there throwing 3 or 4 or 5 shots and, give away the entire tournament. But unfortunately, that's looks like double bogey territory. And then seeing her scores and how close she is with both Natalie and Jennifer. Things are coming down the stretch, and Ohn's just doing Ohn things.
Nice.
Owning. Hashtag AJ Risley. That was made famous by him in the 2014 Worlds. Said it enough times I thought somebody was going to actually stab him for it, but we can bring it back every once in a while because Ohn's that good.
That's hilarious.
And Jen's in for birdie.
If you don't hit metal on that putt, you got to give it up to those ladies because if you don't hit metal, you are so far gone on the other side of that basket with that elevation. So it takes a lot of courage to run that kind of a putt, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we're going to see 3 birdies here. So pretty impressive on our lead card. Anniken, unfortunately, taking a handful. There were just 4 birdies on the day, 3 of them again right here. So I guess our lead card showing us exactly why they're the lead card when they're out there birdieing so much more than everyone else. And after a very long walk, we arrive at hole 13.
Yes, we do. So you got a nice little long drive over this water. You want to kind of get it right in between the trees that we're going through right now. Otherwise, if you have a massive hyzer, you could just go over the top of these trees. But in the end, you do have to be right of that pine tree. That's a Mando right to get yourself to this basket that has a very skippy green around it. So you have to be a little cautious with your upshot. And that's going to look good. Did she hit that tree right there?
She did, but it ultimately will sit down for her, so she's going to still be inbounds and in the fairway, but she could have done without the tree hit.
Right.
Get that tree service out there.
And why Jen's saying don't skip too hard left, it's either because 1, it could go out of bounds, or 2, it could put you so far left of that Mando that it's going to take away some of your distance that you can get to that basket, which again is pushing you to a harder 3. There's that hyzer route, wide right. And it looks like it hit some trees, but it's clear and it's on the ground, so you're good.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of 2-meter plays where rulings come into effect so far this weekend. And right up the middle.
Wow. And skipping forward. Always love that.
Yeah, this is a hole where I feel like you're just trying to maintain, walk away with the 3. You're going to pick up strokes probably on the field by getting a 3. Very unlikely anyone's going to birdie it. And so you want to just have a stress-free 3 and walk away.
And I don't know if you could tell just from Ohn's shot there. Did you see how much it rolled and played on the ground there? And people are not expecting that to happen today. I mean, look at our day 1 on my commentary. I talked about how sticky the grass was. Now nothing's sticking today. So everything's changed. So that particular hole, if you hit too hard with too much speed, you're going to skip right out of bounds and go in the water.
But it needs to be on this side of the mini, right? Like that?
So
Like this bricky set?
They're talking about her alignment of her between her mini and the Mando, because you're actually lining up to the Mando versus the basket at this point in time.
yeah, and even more so because she had gone out of bounds, she can actually bring this on line with the basket. She can back it up, and that's exactly what she's doing here. So really heads up play by Jen to take advantage of that. That rule was implemented just a few years ago. Still feels weird for me as someone who's been playing for 30 years, but yes, this is absolutely a heads up play by Jen.
That bird.
Somebody go spook the birds. Oh, she's gonna do it. I did not know that she was gonna do that.
She's
That's
gonna
funny.
take control here. Jen doesn't mess around.
It's gonna go in.
Oh, is it? It's
Hit a
deep.
bird. Hit a
Darn.
bird. Stop.
Yeah, where's
Stop.
that bird at? She
Yeah.
needed that bird to stay there.
She carried too far deep. So a double OB coming up here for Jen. And no worries there. Anniken probably came up shorter than she was hoping for, but perfect otherwise. You know, that's certainly the play is to lay up from there where she was at. Natalie lays up. Now Jen has this.
Oh,
That's going to be short. So that's going to be a tap in double bogey 6 for Jen. Again, look at the scores, how close they are, and now how much closer they're going to become after she's taking a double bogey. You just gained a little bit of momentum over the previous 2 holes, picking up birdies on both 11 and 12.
that pressure's going to kick in on the next few holes because she's going to be telling herself, I got to make up for what just happened. So it's like, do you play smart or do you push it and try to make up for those strokes you just got?
And speaking of not smart things, I had earlier in a couple of rounds of coverage claimed that Ohn had won this last year. I was mistaken, of course. Kristen Tatar was your champion last year. I think she won it on her daughter's birthday, in fact. So I do apologize. I believe the year before we saw Ohn win. I should have looked it up to even confirm that, but I think she won the year before that.
If you get called out for 2 things in a row.
Oh, it's been a long weekend. I've said a lot of dumb stuff. We've also put up some wrong graphics. At least I haven't called anyone AB or Hamas on this coverage so far. I did plenty of that before.
But you got to keep people on their toes, though, right? Just change it up every once in a while.
Well, if you make a mistake, everybody runs to the comments to tell you how dumb and how wrong you are. So it boosts the engagement. I appreciate you guys as we're on hole 14 of par 5. It's all intentional. I screw up on purpose so that people go. It just helps the algorithm.
Why
people
not?
love to tell you when you're wrong. They're so good at it.
So this hole, so there's a sign right there. I swear a few people have hit that in the past because you have 2 different routes here. You can stay right of that tree that we're looking at right now. But you have to have something that's going to come back really hard and quick. Otherwise, you have another Mando tree that you don't want to be right of. So you're gunning it down these Mandos, trying to stay safe by not going too far left. But then you need to set yourself up for the next shot and stay between the next set of Mando trees. So it sounds super easy, right?
Yeah. Just thinking corridor is the word that comes to mind. I mean, you really have to throw it. It looks like a wide open fairway, but it doesn't play that way.
And all these trees, they have a lot of low hanging branches. So you can't get the height you want to unless you have this massive hyzer arm and you can somehow sneak it underneath this tiny little tree. So that's pretty darn good.
Yeah,
If she gets the right
smash.
skip, she's going to be in a perfect spot. And yeah, she's got it.
Gallery approved. And it's so incredible also, both Ohn and Jen, they may not like me admitting this, are FP40 eligible to be playing in that division. And here they are atop the leaderboard in the FPO division. And we'll see them there plenty throughout the year, but quite impressive. Anniken in a perfect spot here.
A little low, but still going.
I think she's going to get a skip or 2, and that'll work out just fine. You're right. A little more height would have helped, though.
Yeah. You got Jen with powerhousing it down there with a great amount of height. It just didn't die out fast enough, and it's just because it had so much heat on it. But she's still going to have a look at a putt, so she's good. That fade a little right. Those trees are going to come into play. I'm not quite sure where it ended up, but
Yeah, and
You could be going through the middle of those two trees.
yeah, I'm not sure if there was just an overall mental lapse or something, or maybe there was a grip issue, but that was very uncharacteristic to see such a poor shot there by Natalie a moment ago off to that right-hand side.
I think we were looking at a potential Annie without the follow through. I think the follow through didn't happen there, and that's why the disc just came back. And it was supposed to hang more left, and then with the light fade back at the basket. In my head, I think that's what the plan was.
Well, either way, she'll still have a look for birdie,
Ooh, so close.
and that was Jen for an eagle bid.
And that's outside a circle, right? That sign.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was just outside of circle 1. So big shout out, Raven Klein eagled this with the 3 earlier in the day.
A 3. Wow, that's good. This is a long hole.
Yeah, the only advantage, well, not advantage, but they did shorten this one a little bit from previous years because they had lengthened hole number 5. So they brought this one in about 40 feet shorter than what we've seen in previous years, but you still need to throw 2 very accurate shots, like you talked about, the corridor and all the Mandos. So plenty to navigate around, but that's an entire card of birdies on hole
Hi,
14.
I'm Andrew Marweed, and for the last 3 years, I've been one of the top putters in the world. I chose the DGA Steady for its straight, consistent flight path and the confidence it gives me on the green. Plus, it comes in both beaded and beadless versions with a wide variety of plastics. I prefer the Stone Steady BL, but you can find your Steady at discgolf.com.
Andrew Marweed, who had taken down the Shelly Sharpe on this very course a few months ago and competing over here on the MPO side. But back to the action, 450 feet. This is a shorter tee for the women than what we see from the men. Still a par 4, and I think this is a pretty gettable par 4.
It is. Off the tee, you got mando trees on the left-hand side. Your goal is to get as much distance as possible with a nice skip to the left, setting you up for the next shot, because you really just want to put the next shot under the basket. I will say if you're not far enough out there or if you're too short, there's some trees that will really come into play and it make it quite challenging.
Number of guardian trees, as
Oh,
you
yeah.
speak of, around the green here, and this is a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
That's
a
exactly how you
massive-
draw it up,
yeah,
right?
Yep. Massive skip to the left. Good. Ooh, that's nice.
This doesn't set up well for a lefty backhand, but she made it work.
Yeah, she did. A little tight. It could be potentially dangerous.
Safe, curls up just short
Wow.
of the sidewalk. I feel like Jen wants to put a birdie down on the scorecard before she even plays this hole. This sets up so well for her.
Now, where Ohn is, that's a great spot. You see that big pine tree that she just sneaked past? That one loves to just stop discs trying to come in for that birdie putt. So your goal is just get around it somehow.
Jen landed on one of the other tee pads that you'd find out here if you were playing the course in a recreational layout or a traditional layout. Do you know what hole that is normally?
5?
Yeah, okay, I believe you. I'm not going to challenge you. I have no idea. I only see this in the memorial layout year after year, so
No,
I really
it's 6. It's 6.
Okay.
I had to think about it for a hot minute. It's 6.
Just tell us the wrong number, then everybody will yell at you in the comments.
Someone will let me know. I'll get a text in like 3 hours. They're like, trash, Jamie.
Junk. Anniken, solid approach. We'll see if she can convert on the birdie. Here's a forehand coming up from Natalie.
It's so easy to go deep on this hole right here. I don't know if that sounded bad or not. But
Not at all.
yeah, so you could easily skip past the basket, and next thing you know, you're on the sidewalk. I don't know what it is with the leaves back there, but you get so much skid on the disc, it just goes zoop. Next thing you know, you're out. Good putt. For a birdie. There you go.
Keeping an eye on the scores. Natalie currently with the advantage.
Oh,
And that's a missed opportunity for certain for Anniken, especially as we're going to see Ohn from short range. She's looking for the tap in. She's way out in front. She's doubled the next closest score, but very, very close among the other three.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this card does have a little cushion over 5th and 6th, being Maria Oliva, Violet Main. They're kind of battling it out for those 5th and 6th place positions. Here we are on the dangerous and not so easy hole 16.
Yep. So you got Mando right of that tree. This fairway gets super skippy the closer you get down to the basket. So again, these women are going to throw some massive drives. They're going to get a potential bad skip to the left. So they have to be careful of that. And again, you're trying to get a basket up a hill. So if you cut into the hill, which might just be about to happen, you could get a roll to the left and just go right out of bounds. She didn't get that much play, so we're actually good on that one. But I don't think she's going to be happy with that drive in the end because she was trying to get up the basket.
Yeah, she is on that short side, so it doesn't come into play. And Natalie's going to have a look for birdie.
That looks really good.
Oh, and it's so flat, so
So
it's going to
good.
match the hill and
Oh, my
check up.
gosh.
Beautiful shot.
You owe me a Coke. Oh, get around that tree. Don't hit that tree.
Comes in
Okay.
flat. She might get a good skip up the
Wow.
hillside. Played nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of skips, you missed it. When I was here talking to myself in the middle of the night, we were talking about Skippy or Jif for peanut butter, assuming you're not going like all healthy and natural. Skippy or Jif, which is it?
Do we have peanut, like actual nuts in it, or is this smooth?
With
Crunchy
or
or
without?
smooth?
With or without? Whatever. What's your preference? Either way.
I would say, was it Skippy?
Yeah.
Skippy.
Yeah, wrong, but okay. That one stops for Natalie. She should be able to convert from there. Anniken has a decision to make. How aggressive do you want to be from outside the circle? About 11 meters.
Oh, the fact that she putted that flat, though, was a smart choice. Because if she did have, I've seen her with a lot of hyzer on her putts. If you had a lot of hyzer and you hit the band or you hit something else, you're going to just roll down that hill and go right out of bounds. So putting that flat was smart.
I think Natalie had a little trauma from yesterday's hole 16 here where one of her putts did get up and roll out of bounds, just as you described. And she's looking at a bogey, so she's probably falling back to 9 under. Jen is going to turbo her way to 10 under.
Why is Skippy the wrong answer?
It's just not good. It's gross. I don't know.
Really?
Choosy moms choose Jeff.
Oh,
I mean, what's Skippy's stupid
I don't know.
tagline?
I don't think I've even had Skippy since I was like 12.
Well, there you go. Don't do it again. That easy.
Now I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Gosh darn it. What did you do?
That's how it works. We got 2 holes left to go at the Memorial, and if you use the code Disc Golf Guy, you will get 20% off. Go find some all-natural ingredients
Yeah.
that you can use on your dog with the Distinguished Doodle. You could probably do so with peanut butter. And guess what? Dogs like peanut butter, too.
They
So this
do.
all, I don't know. Somehow this all works
I'm
out.
pretty sure my dog's like Skippy.
Wow. I'll refrain from any comments about your dogs then. All right. Here's Jen after the lone
Oh.
birdie.
The height. It's the height. It was the great line. I loved it, but it's just the height gets you on this hole. You almost have to throw down a little bit. And if you have the wrong wind as well, it could actually push you down even further. And with this little wall right here, you are just, not happy. Again, the height.
0 for 2 so far. And also, give full credit. Jen was the only birdie on hole 16 out of the entire division on the previous hole. So we've seen 2 OB shots. Can Anniken find the island? Yes.
Oh, yes.
A tree will likely impede her stance or her look, but she is safe. Natalie going with the backhand lefty shot.
Really wide there. Oh.
Say that was not a great shot. Hit the grate back there.
Great.
don't
Oh, I get it.
Don't encourage me.
Oh my gosh. The slow list, me being slow right now is kind of pretty typical, honestly. I don't think I get corny jokes that fast.
I've got plenty. Stay tuned. Too bad we're closing out our weekend here. Ohn clearly in full control here, and right now we're still just seeing who's going to podium alongside her. And a safe play by Anniken. She's
Yeah.
the only one inbound. She's already going to pick up at least one stroke, maybe more. But she's inbounds and under the basket for 3.
Nice.
Good comeback for Jen after the approach got away from her.
And that's easy to do because that grass, I swear on this thing, you just land. If you don't land perfectly soft, it just slides and it slides. And next thing you know, you're 20 feet away.
You know what Lauren Hill once said? Killing me softly? I think she was talking about hole 17's green.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Holy cow, we're 71 holes complete, and we're moving into the final hole at the Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. If somehow you're along for this wild ride this week, I'm sorry, but thank you for joining. Thank you to sponsors like Zuka, the Distinguished Doodle, Double G Jerky, and all the spotters, the volunteers, the whole crew over at Spinners, along with Jamie, who joined me a couple of the rounds. 2 is enough, right?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
I don't blame you. They're going to try and close it out on 18, 290 feet. It's really just a hyzer off the tee for a righty backhand throw. Anywhere over there on that side is considered safe. Anything but that side is considered out of bounds, and you're all but guaranteed a 4 from the drop zone.
She's not happy. That's not coming back fast
Ain't
enough.
no hyzer back, girl. Doesn't quite make it.
That had to have been a really hard shot. I was just thinking to myself, how hard of a shot is that for a left-handed player?
Yeah, just thinking about basically she's contending with that tree.
Yeah.
And to lay up short isn't exactly easy for a lefty either. So
This grass has a ton of play. You get a bunch of skips right around that basket. So if you come in with too much heat, that's what happens. You just saw it. It happened a lot today.
get the scores. 8 under for Natalie. Jen now all but guaranteed at least a bogey. And Anniken also heading to the drop zone. Bogey potential.
Oh, and it's because you jumped my box.
And that is, in fact, out of bounds. And
Hell no, I don't want to lose my disc.
Jen and Ohn talking about if somebody went out of order there. Start handing out strokes left and right here. I don't know.
Settle. There you go. I'm telling you, that backside right there, when you hit the ground, it continues to slide another 10, 15 feet if it comes in fast. So you have to be a little soft with your touch on this shot right here. Like that would be a good approach in my mind because it's going to land quietly. It's just going to get a little roll. It's not going to skip. Ooh.
Ohn thinking she got away with one there.
Yep.
Natalie trying to get up and down.
Oh. That was a long run for it, but it's going to land nice and quiet. Get a nice easy tap from there. Nice.
And the best she can do after the OB is the bogey by Anniken. She's going to be at 7 under. I'm going to get a big shout out in for my crew over at First Light, who always takes care of me as well. Dan and Robin, along with Boyd. Oh, they didn't let the champion putt last. Come on. Come on. That's disc golf etiquette. Ohn, your champion here at the Memorial Championships. Congratulations to her. And Natalie is going to end what looks like with a double bogey, and that's going to cost her some money and some positioning. She's going to finish at 6 under. We're going to see Jen Allen in second, Anniken in third, Natalie Ryan in fourth, and yet again, your champion, Ohn Scoggins. Jamie, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me again.
Till next time, everyone. That's your 2023 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. I'm the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you at the next one.